Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So I haven't uploaded a video for a few months and that is mainly because I just wasn't feeling the motivation to do so during lockdown-ish. And then obviously we kind of started to come out of a lockdown and then we went back into another one which we're in now. So yeah, I didn't really feel the motivation. A lot has happened since I last checked in, so I thought I would do like a chatty life update whilst putting some makeup on, just to make it a little bit different and interesting. So I apologise that I look like a gremlin right now. I'm very pale. I've got some breakouts happening here and here, which I don't really know what's caused these. It's not maskne, I'll tell you that for a fact, but then I've got some up here too, so don't know. And I'm very pale because that is just my natural life state. But I've got my makeup right here next to me. I don't really know what kind of look I'm going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put my hair back, because otherwise we're going to end up in foundation, and foundation and black hair does not mix. It doesn't mix. Wonderful, now I look like a little elf with stick out ears, but we're just going to roll with that because, oh God, we need to. If I keep looking like this slightly off-centre direction, it's because I have my mirror here, because I'm not skilled enough to do makeup in the viewfinder yet, so sorry about that. I'm trying to get my viewfinder as close to the mirror as possible without missing the viewfinder. So I've already done an intro to this video once. Then I took a phone call and I had to go somewhere, and then I'm back. So in that intro, which I would splice together, but it doesn't really go because it's been like an hour, I just used my toner, which is the Garnier Organics Pure Time Perfecting Toner, and I just pop this on with a cotton round. It does like sting any blemishes you have, so for me I feel like that means it's working. But I really like it, it smells really good too. So the next thing I'm going to do is pop on some moisturiser. I'm currently using the Anatomicals We Never Forget a Face Memorably Good Daily Moisturiser, which has SPF 15 and coenzyme Q10. So I'm just going to pop a bit of this all over. It's just like a little pump, which I like. And then I just kind of pop it on and then rub it in. So I guess the first topic, I think, is best to talk about, if you're already eagle-eyed, is that I have obtained a new piece of jewellery. I've obtained a diamond. So I got engaged in September this year, 22nd of September. I kind of knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was coming. So I knew it was coming in general life. Like, Paul and I had spoken about getting married, that we wanted to get married to each other, obviously. So I kind of knew that he wanted to. I didn't know when. Like, I didn't know if it's going to be this year, next year. And I did say to him before, like, we were on FaceTime with a friend, and I said, oh, I don't want to get proposed to in the proper strict lockdown, where you can't go outside, you can't see anyone. But he didn't. He waited until like between first lockdown and second lockdown. So it was nice because it was a destination proposal, which was, you know, perfect, because the last thing I wanted was to be stuck in like the front room and it happened there. Not that that's wrong if anyone has that happen. Next I'm just going to pop on a bit of primer, I can't talk, bit of primer. It's the Revolution, it's rubbed off a bit, but it's the Revolution Strawberry Whip Pore Blurring Primer with vitamin C and E. I would show you what it looks like, but it has mostly rubbed off. It is coloured. And I like this because it is one of those silicone-y primers, so it does have that nice texture. But yeah, so we were supposed to be going away to Sicily this year on holiday, and then obviously that got cancelled because of COVID. So he was actually going to do it there, apparently, I didn't know. So in between the lockdowns, when we could kind of go out again, he suggested that we go on holiday to Cornwall, which we've been to Cornwall quite a few times. So we went and stayed in an Airbnb in Lizard, which is kind of near Helston area. Our Airbnb wasn't actually in Lizard, but that's the area we were in, and we planned to go to Lizard Point. Kynance Cove, St Michael's Mount, Penzance and Land's End, and a couple other places. So this was all planned, and went down on the first day. We went to Lizard Point, which is the most southerly tip of the UK, and we went down and we were looking down there. And hang on, let me get my foundation before I continue. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. It's matte and poreless, normal to oily skin, and this is 97. It's a bit light for me, but we'll just have to make do. And you know, I think it's a bit light for me is saying something because I'm so pale. So don't judge me, this is how I put this one on because I just do. So we went down to Lizard Point and we like hiked down to like the actual Lizard Point, and we were looking on one side, and then we walked around the other side of the cliff, and it was a really beautiful view. There was like an old abandoned lifeboat station that had kind of been commandeered by the water and the rocks, which was pretty cool. And then there was just like a beautiful view of lots of rocks. I'm not doing this justice. Like basically it's just a really rocky cliff line, and it was very, very beautiful. And we stood there for a bit and we were discussing like where we were going to walk next, because you could see the path that went along the coastline the way we were going to go. And then we stood there for a bit, and Paul was a bit quiet, but I didn't really suspect anything. And I kind of said to him, "You alright?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just taking in the view," and I didn't really think anything of it. And then we took some more pictures, and then he was like, "Oh, do you want to..." Oh my god, look how pale I look on camera. That's really bad, isn't it? I'm not that pale in real life, and this foundation is not that pale in real life either. The light of where I'm sat, 'cause I'm sat right in the window, is making me look like Casper the Ghost. I'll sort it out with bronzer and everything. Anyway, so we took some more pictures, and then Paul was like, "Oh, do you want to take like some pictures together of like the view and stuff?" He was like, "You can stand there and I'll take some pictures of you." And then he was like, "Turn around and I'll take some pictures of you looking out for sea," because I am horrific at taking photos. Like I don't mind a selfie so much, but like somebody taking pictures of me, I'm so bad, I hate them all. So he was like, "Look out to sea." So I was like, yeah, that would be a cool shot actually. And then, hang on, before I get to the peak of the story, I'm just going to use the GRWM Flawless Colour Correcting Kit. I'm going to use just like the nude. So it comes in 4 colours. I'm just going to use this nude to base under my eyes. So then he called me and I turned around and he was on one knee, and it was like, oh, I can't even explain what it feels like. Like, obviously as a girl, I'd grown up like imagining what it would be like to be proposed to, but I can't really explain what it feels like. Like I was in shock, in a good shock, but I was in shock. I couldn't believe it was happening. So I was like, oh my god. Like I think I kept asking him if he was joking. I kept asking him if it was a joke, and he was like, "No, of course not." And I was like, "Are you sure? Are you joking me?" And then obviously I said yes, obviously. And then I wasn't really aware of what was happening around us. He stood up, put the ring on, we were shaking like mad. He gave me a cuddle. I turned around and loads of people were clapping at us. And this lovely couple had taken some photos of him, which was so nice. Like taking some photos of the proposal and took some photos of us afterwards. And I just couldn't believe it's true. I just kept looking at my ring continuously for the next like 5 minutes, like absolute shaking. I'm just going to pop some powder on, which is the MAC Blot Powder Pressed in medium. Do you know what? For an expensive powder, this is like £24. I'm not that impressed with it. Some of the foundations I use, it just goes cakey. Like especially around this area of my mouth, it just goes cakey with it. I'm just not that impressed. Anyway, yeah, so we walked along for a bit. I obviously asked him some questions, because when I'd really come around I was like, "Who knows about this? Like, did you tell my parents?" And he had asked my parents, which is really nice. Obviously you don't have to. It's very like old tradition about asking parents, because a lot of people would be like, I don't belong to my parents. I wanted him to because I liked that tradition. And he did. He told me his parents didn't know about it, which shocked me because I thought he'd tell his mum and dad. So we walked for a bit, we sat down and had like a snack and just kind of like was in that little bubble for a second. And then we sent a video to his family group chat showing what happened, and we sent one to my family group chat, and obviously everyone was really excited. So yeah, that was really exciting. So how long have we been engaged for now? 2 months today. 2 months? Yeah, 2 months today we've been engaged, so that's nuts. This is the ring. I don't know how to show you. There you go. And then it's really pretty on the side. It's a Forever Diamond from... So Forever Diamond is like the make, and then it's from H. Samuels. It's very pretty. I'm just going to pop on a bit of bronzer using the Bare Minerals Bronzer in Warmth. So it's just like a powder bronzer. This is kind of my go-to. So yeah, that's very exciting. Wedding planning is not really happening because of COVID. Like, what can you really plan during COVID? Not a lot, because you obviously at the moment we're in a second lockdown, so you can't get married. But there's like, what is this camera? Honestly, this camera makes everything look so much more harsh than it actually is in real life. Oh, I'll have to buff that out so it looks good. Yeah, people are having restrictions for weddings about how many people can attend. People have to wear masks to the weddings. And I don't want that. Like, I understand some people are doing that, and that's fine. I guess it's each to your own. If you're happy to have a wedding with lockdown measures in place, with people in the photos wearing masks and only having a set number of... Oh, it's because I've got a spot there. Only having a set number of people, then that's cool, but I wouldn't want to pick between my friends and family and not have people there because of lockdown. I don't want people to have to wear masks all day because that's really horrible. So, and also I want people to be safe. Like, I don't want to be spreading COVID at my wedding, so I think we're probably going to wait a couple of years and see what the rules are then. I'm just going to use the Revolution Matte Fix Oil Control Fixing Spray. That will do. For brows, I'm just going to use a Rimmel pencil. This is in the colour dark brown. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing, because I don't really want to zoom you in too close because of the acne. But yeah, so that's kind of that as an update. I guess COVID's happening. There's not really much I can update you on about COVID that you don't already know, because we're all in a lockdown. Before I was living in the lowest tier area, which is fine. It's kind of, lockdown has made my anxiety worse, because I have anxiety, diagnosed. I've had it for about 7 years. So those two together, the anxiety and the OCD, are dramatic AF. Like, I have really bad like health anxiety. So I have emetophobia, which is a really big fear of sick. I don't mind. Rare for emetophobia. I don't mind other people sick. I can't be sick. I can't feel sick without triggering a panic attack. Panic attacks make me feel sick anyway, so it's just like this circle. COVID's made me a lot worse. Like, I think that I have the symptoms all the time when I most likely don't. It's just my brain. It's just my brain panicking. Like, I thought I had a fever this morning and I was absolutely convinced that I had a fever, and I went and did my temperature and 36. It's just the anxiety. I'm just going to go over those brows with the Rimmel Brow This Way Brow Fixing Gel with Argan Oil. It's just like a little clear brow gel on a little mini spoolie. But yeah, so not much to give you about lockdown. I can't wear a mask due to my anxiety, which sounds really stupid. I started to wear a mask at the start of lockdown, and it just, like, it took one time that the mask made me gag because of how it sat on my face, that set off my emetophobia, and then I couldn't put it on. Now if I try and put a mask on, I feel like I'm going to be sick. So I've got an official lanyard, don't worry, I'm not just being an arse and running around. Which meant I've been shielding from work for the last like 2 weeks because work had a little outbreak and I couldn't go in because I can't wear a mask, so like I'm a risk to myself, my family and other people spreading it, so that's cool. I'm going to do some eyes. I'm going to use this Bourjois Kohl and Contour eyeliner pencil, and this is in Brown Espresso. I'm just going to put this in my waterline. Yeah, what else is new? We've got a PS5. PS5 came the other day. Well, I say we got a PS5. Paul ordered himself a PS5, but it's downstairs. It is amazing. I've only used it to play Astro Boy, which is like the game that they've designed to show you the controller's capabilities, and I'm just blown away by how amazing it is. It's got lots of new technologies. You can blow like on the controller and it makes like turn wheels go in the game and stuff. Yeah, it's just so cool. Basically, the thing I'm most excited about with PS5 is the fact that Ratchet & Clank has come back, which is a game I used to play as a kid, and Hogwarts Legacy, if that's what it's called, the new Harry Potter game. Obsessed with that. Cannot wait for that to arrive because I am a massive Harry Potter fan. And if you didn't know me, literally super fan. I'm sat in my Harry Potter room, although that bit that you get in camera is not part of my Harry Potter room, that's Paul's corner, but I have a Harry Potter Insta collector's account. I ain't no muggle, and it's just where I take a picture of all my collector's items, and I think that's like 55 things on there so far. So yeah, cannot wait for that game to come out. I'm now using the Maybelline Line Refine Liner Express liquid liner. I'm gonna do my classic eyeliner look. What else have I got to tell you about? Oh yeah, I just realised I'd never spoken about it on this channel before. Because it kind of started in between like that a lot of videos that I've just done in this one. I've started a podcast with my friend. So friend Slade and I have decided to start a podcast together. A podcast was something I was always interested in doing for a long time. Before I started YouTube, I was interested in doing a podcast. Didn't really know what to do. I had a couple friends, like online friends, that were doing podcasts, or thinking about doing podcasts, and they were like, yeah, you can guest, but that obviously like never came about. So yeah, Slade and I decided to start a podcast. So it's called Project Safe Space, which the name kind of came from, I think it was a joint decision on the name. The name came from the fact that obviously it's a project, and safe space kind of has two meanings. So Slade is a really big fan of space, like everything space, everything astronaut, NASA, space station, like that is Slade's like genius topic. He knows everything on it. So I got space from there, but also we wanted it to be like a safe, is that the same? It looks the same. I wanted it to be a safe space that we could talk about anything, because we want to talk about, well obviously we're talking about normal topics, but we're also talking about things like LGBTQ, mental health. We wanted it to be an area where you could talk about anything and feel okay, or listen to it and like feel okay about it. I'm gonna curl my lashes, but I always heat my lashes up. Baby, don't try this at home if you're not an adult. I know my cousin uses a hairdryer to do hers, probably easier, but give that a listen. It's called Project Safe Space with Slade and Devon. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on most streaming platforms. Currently there's only 2 episodes out because obviously Slade can't come to my house right now to record. So we're only 2 episodes in. The first one we spoke about like paranormal and ghosts, and the second one we've done like unexplained mysteries. So give them a listen. Oh, mascara. I'm just going to go in with the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot in Daring Black. So yeah, the podcast has been pretty cool to do. We've got ourselves proper podcasting microphones, and we just use Audacity to record. And then yeah, it's not really much editing goes into a podcast, which I like, where YouTube, you've got quite a bit of editing to do. But on a podcast, it's kind of like raw. The only thing I have to do is make sure that I put like trigger warnings in the beginning if I need to, and just add the jingle at the start and the finish, and then it's pretty much done. They're about an hour each, which I think is okay for a podcast. That looks good. Personally, like, I don't mind an hour of podcast if it's like gripping. But yeah, that's kind of everything going on with me at the moment. What have I been really into? What's been getting me through this shielding lockdown that I've been on? Sims 3. I've gone back to being obsessed with Sims 3. Trying, like, not really the generation challenge or the legacy challenge, I don't know what it's called. Basically trying to play on one family for as long as I can. Because I used to only get like 3 generations deep and then stop. But I think I'm on like the 4th generation. But I use mods as well, so I use like the story progression mod stuff to help keep it interesting. I finished playing Lego Harry Potter on the Xbox. That was really good. That was a bit nostalgic. And I'm now playing a game called Unravel or Unravelled? I don't know. That's a really cute game though. And now I've started to play like Astro World on the PS5. Baking and following recipes from a website called Jane's Patisserie. Patisserie. Jane's Patisserie, that's the one. Patisserie, I don't know who I think I am. Let's look at those. This mascara is blinking amazing, if you pardon the pun. Look at those lashes. I'm such a catfish. That will do. So yeah, that was my like chatty update whilst I get ready. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be back next week. I think I might just do like, I don't know, I've got a couple ideas. I've got some like Q&A questions to do. I kind of want to do at some point like a grocery haul, like a food shop haul. And I want to do like a tour of this really big like shelf book like desk thing that I have, you can kind of see, and just talk through some of the products. Maybe do like a makeup collection, I don't know, let me know what you want to see. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Until next time, be safe, and yeah.